7 valuable NBA players that are somehow still available in free agency. I know good and well you can't be talking about Ben Simmons. What other good? I know Chris Paul out there and Ben Simmons out there, but who else is available that ain't been signed?
He started off hot with quite a few notable moves that put the basketball world on notice, but after the first few days of the period, things have definitely cooled down a ton. A lot of teams have most of their rosters filled out, and a lot of the best players have signed new deals already, but there are definitely still spots available across the board, and there's also a ton of high-quality talent somehow still available.
Oh, Westbrook ain't signed with nobody?
This brings us to today's video, where we'll be discussing 7
That's crazy
that I not only believe should still be on an NBA roster, but are still absolutely
gang. If I'm Westbrook, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I might be trying to damn, if I'm Westbrook, I'm probably trying to go to the Rockets, bro. Cause if I'm Westbrook right now, all I want is a ring to just cap off my career. You know, he doesn't need nothing else. He don't, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm Westbrook, I'll be trying to get on the Rockets right now, or probably trying to get. I would say Knicks, but nah. Even though I think the Knicks would love a nigga like Westbrook. The Knicks fans. I say the Rockets or the Knicks, bro. Gotta be. Like, who else would you go to if you're Westbrook?
Contributing to a team's rotation with the skill sets that they bring.
OKC?
I also want to make it clear that
I don't know. I mean, shit. OKC, that shit would be fire if he went back to OKC. But I don't know if he gonna do that. That would be good, though. That would be good.
I'm not going to be discussing the notable restricted free agents that include Quentin Grimes, Jonathan Kuminga, Cam.
But it's just like, damn, Westbrook coming off the bench in OKC after everything he's done. Now he comes back and he comes off the bench. Oh, that'll be rough.
Thomas and Josh Giddey, because their situations are intentionally playing out slowly to test the
market. Wait, Nas Reed a free agent?
A lot of them will have their offers matched by their original teams anyway down the line.
What the hell?
Plus, I'm also not going to include Al Horford in today's video because all reports seem to indicate that he will sign with the Golden State Warriors whenever Jonathan Kuminga's situation comes to a conclusion. Basically, this video is...
so Horford going to the Warriors. Warriors finna lose Kuminga. I wonder what the Warriors are going to get for Kuminga, because there's going to be a sign and trade.
Specifically for the free agents that have a lot less traction behind their availability. Now, the first player we'll be discussing today that I cannot believe is somehow still available is Chris Paul.
Where is Chris Paul trying to go?
This upcoming season,
Chris Paul is really in the same predicament as Westbrook. Chris Paul, you got to go somewhere just to get a ring, just to really cap off your career. You've already had a great career. This is going to be, what, your 21st season? Who could Chris Paul... If I'm Chris Paul, I'm trying to go to Houston as well. I'm trying to go to the Mavericks. They don't have Kyrie until, what, February? I'm trying to go to the Mavericks. Yeah, I mean, I think those are the 2 best destinations for him.
Would be Chris Paul's last year in the NBA if he signs a contract. And after the career he's had,
Mavs got D'Lo.
Well,
Chris Paul could come off the bench for D'Lo.
The Hall of Fame.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. He's damn near 40.
Step foot on a basketball court, and even in his old age, has still managed to play impactful basketball as a floor general and playmaker. He may be 40 years old, but he is absolutely worth taking a swing on for 1 year if you're a team with playoff aspirations and are in need of help in your backcourt. On top of the fact that he was still amongst the league leaders in assists this past year with the Spurs, he also managed to play all 82 games this season, proving he is still taking very good care of his body and can be consistently reliable as a leader. He's outstanding to have in the locker room, his court vision and instincts are still as sharp as ever, which makes the lives of your team's star players a lot easier, and he's not going to cost a lot, so I'm having a hard time envisioning an outcome where signing him wouldn't be worth it so he can have one last swan song. The next player we'll be discussing that is still somehow unavailable free agent is Russell Westbrook. The Russell Westbrook experience is always a wild ride, and we've known this for a while. He's been one of the most polarizing talents in the NBA for over a decade, and as he has aged, there have definitely been parts of his game that have been difficult to justify, such as how turnover-prone he still is, and how many defensive lapses he has, but the negativity towards him tends to get overblown, and there are still a lot of positives that come from having him in your rotation. For one, last year in Denver, he fully embraced being the team's sixth man, so he's not coming in expecting to be the one running the show anymore, and he even developed some solid chemistry next to Nikola Jokic of all people, so he's willing to adjust some things next to star players. He also still brings that same Russell Westbrook endless energy that can ignite a team, and as a passer, he absolutely still is outstanding at setting teammates up for easy looks. You have to accept that he's not going to be a consistent shooter and try to limit his erratic ways, because as someone who can run a second unit, there are very few other better backup point guards in the NBA right now. The next player we'll be discussing that is somehow still an available free agent is Malcolm Brogden. For most of his career, Malcolm Brogden has been one of the most efficient, poised, and steady scoring guards in the NBA, serving as a high-level secondary playmaker, and even winning Sixth Man of the Year just 2 years ago.
Yeah, how is this nigga not signed, bro? He could literally play for any team. Literally any team. How is he still not signed?
The NBA is also, unfortunately, very much a what have you done for me lately kind of league, and when you're coming off of a notably down year like Brogden is, that's all most people are going to be focusing on. Last season in Washington, he just could not stay healthy at all, dealing with an array of injuries ranging from ankle, foot, knee, and hamstring troubles, and those setbacks definitely affected his play on the court, because in the short time that he was able to play, he shot the ball worse than he ever has.
Didn't even shoot 30% from three? That's why he's not signed.
And his scoring took a sizable dip. Call me crazy, but I don't think one outlier season riddled with injuries is the new norm for a player like Brogden, who is also only 32 years old and should have quite a few years left.
He's 32?
He's a much better shooter than
I thought he was younger.
This season. He has a lot of big game experience from his days with the Bucks, Pacers, and Celtics, and if he returns to form, he could end up being an absolute steal of a signing for a team looking to bolster their backcourt this season, because he's another player who likely won't cost a whole lot to bring in. The next player we'll be discussing that is somehow still an available free agent is Amir Coffee. Coffee isn't a big name like the first three guys we discussed today, but his game is perfect for the modern NBA, and it still feels like not enough people have caught on to that.
And he a lefty?
He spent 6 seasons with the Los Angeles Clippers, and his development has been a slow grind for sure, but this past year, he broke out as one of the best two-way wings off of a bench on any team, and the role he's embraced is one of the most important roles in a lineup. Coffee has become one of the better 3-and-D guys any team can have coming off of the bench, and honestly, if you put him in your starting lineup, he would probably fit right in. On the Clippers last year, he was averaging 10 points per game, shooting
41 from three?
41% from three.
How is he not signed? Hey, Lakers, y'all need to sign him.
He's 28 years old in the prime of his career, unlike a lot of the older veterans that are fizzling out that we're talking about today. You won't find a better time to add quality two-way role players than right now, with how dried up most payrolls are getting. So finding him and signing him on something like the mid-level exception would be a steal for whoever finally comes to their senses and goes through with it. The next player we'll be discussing today that is somehow still an available free agent is Ben Simmons. Okay,
come on now, bro. We know why Ben Simmons ain't signed. That nigga need to go ahead and sign his retirement papers. It's over for him. His back is all fucked up. And I don't even think it's 100%. I think even if his back was 100%, his brain is fucked up. He's not a good player no more, bro. It's over for him, gang. I don't even be seeing his defensive highlights no more. I just think he be on the court just out there, just cruising now. He don't even be trying, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't hear shit about Ben Simmons. Wasn't he on the Clippers at the tail end of last season? I ain't hear shit about him at all.
I know, nobody is buying Ben Simmons off-season hype anymore. Trust me, I am very much with you in that boat. Once upon a time, Ben was an all-star two-way stud who was in the mix for the defensive...
Bro, I don't understand how that shit happens, bro. Like, I don't get it, bro. I really don't. Like, you're at the top of the world, a all-star. You're an all-star one moment, and then 6 months later, you're a shell of yourself. Like, I don't get it, my nigga. I don't get it.
Player of the Year award.
I don't know what happened
was
to this nigga, bro.
Attacking the basket and had the court vision and passing IQ that was drawing LeBron James comparisons early in his career, but the days of him being in those conversations are long gone, and now he's fighting to even keep his NBA career alive. Yes, there are...
You talk about blame Embiid. What the... How the hell are you gonna blame Embiid for... How the hell can you blame Philly for that? How can you blame Embiid? It's this... Bro, it's nobody's fault but his. Nigga, we was literally riding for Ben Simmons years before this shit happened, bro. We were telling this nigga what he needs to do to improve his game. He decided not to do it. And then when we finally get fed up with telling this nigga what he needs to do and he don't do it, then we start getting on his ass. Now he's hurt. His feelings are hurt. His pussy is sore. No, that's not how life works, bro.
A lot of frustrating parts of his game that he refuses to address, including his unwillingness to shoot from outside of the paint and his lack of confidence, plus his nagging back injuries have definitely played a big part in the drastic regression he's gone through, but at this point, he needs to be viewed as someone that can play a reduced role off of a team's bench, and in that regard, there is still absolutely space for him in the NBA. Ben can grab a rebound and push the pace as a strong ball handler, and at 6'10", he's very tough to stop in transition. He's not an all-defense caliber defender anymore, but he still plays plus defense, and in Brooklyn this past season, he was averaging 7 assists per game. So his...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Ben Simmons, you could have literally morphed into like a Draymond after that catastrophic event happened to you. You could have morphed into Draymond. These are prime Draymond Green numbers right here. 6, 5, and 7. Prime Draymond Green numbers.
His knack for finding the open man is still there. Bringing him in on a smart...
And Bleacher Report got Draymond Green ranked as a top 90 player ever in the history of the NBA.
Contract and unleashing him on bench units should prove to be a worthwhile investment as long as you're not unrealistically expecting him to go back to being the Ben Simmons of old. The next player we'll be discussing...
Gary! What? Warriors ain't re-signed Gary and they're finna lose Cumbucket? Oh, that's fucked up, Gary.
Still an available free agent right
now. Wasn't he a better shooter this year too? I know he's always injured. He's just like Anthony Davis, but I mean, shit.
Gary Payton II. GP2 is a player with a very specific skill set that just so happens to be a pathway to minutes at the NBA level. He is not going to put up numbers that catch your eye in the box score, and his game is definitely not flashy on film, but he's earned the trust of Warriors coach Steve Kerr for years for a reason. And that reason is that he is a warrior on the defensive end guarding the perimeter, and his energy off the ball is contagious. He rebounds well for a guard, he's a smart cutter, and is efficient finishing around the rim, so he does all of the dirty work you want from a role player. He also happens to bring championship pedigree to whoever signs him, and at 32 years of age would be a great veteran to have in the locker room. He may not be the most consistent three-point shooter, but he's also not a complete liability out there. The Warriors, unfortunately, have other priorities this offseason, so it's looking likely that he's not going to be re-signed there, but it still surprises me that he's struggling to find interest elsewhere. And
bro, I need to see what the Warriors are going to do with Cumbucket, what they going to get for him, to really know if they going to be good or not in the West. If they keep Cumbucket on the team and nothing happens, oof, it's going to be a rough year for y'all. No bullshit. Very rough year. So, gotta wait on that.
Finally, the last player we'll be discussing today that is somehow still
Chris Boucher?
free agent is Chris Boucher. Boucher is a unique talent who has been with the Toronto Raptors since their championship-winning 2019 season. But now, at 32 years old, it's looking like he's going to need to relocate. He's a 6'9" forward with a 7'4" long wingspan that plays with great energy when he's out on the court and contributes on both sides of the ball. He generates quite a few deflections and blocks with that length, and on offense, he has a propensity for launching threes that he makes at an above-average clip. He's coming off of a season averaging 10 points per game in 17 minutes of playing time on average, which is a pretty impressive point per minute output, and the stretch 4 always proves to be an archetype NBA teams favor in their rotation, so even though it's been an uneventful free agency period for him so far, I do have confidence he will find a home eventually and carve out a role on a team's bench. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like.
Hey, W Video, there was a couple players in here that the Lakers could use. A couple players in here that the Sixers could use. Y'all might want to go ahead and, know what I'm saying? Lakers, go ahead and sign this Boucher guy. Y'all need length. Y'all need to stretch the floor. Y'all got the center in DeAndre Ayton, even though DeAndre Ayton, I mean, shit, he better than Jackson Hayes, so he's something, but that nigga's not a needle mover. W Video, though.